what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Sully Squad on game night. We got an extra big show tonight. Of course, we got Super Bowl rematch between our Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs, so we're getting into that. I had to break out the Nick Foles for good vibes, so let's go. So we're going to get into a lot of Eagles talk. Phillies, big re-signing. Aaron Nola, 7 years, $172 million. So Nola's coming back for the next 7 years. That's a big contract for Nola. And we're going to be talking all this. We have special guest Angelo Cataldi is going to be hopping on with us, former WIP host and great sports debate. Will be coming on with us to talk about this stuff. And I know he's Andy Reid. He's the number one Andy Reid fan, correct? What do you think, Sean? He loves Andy Reid.
Absolutely, number one fan. He loves him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm sure Gabe Kapler and Andy Reid can't wait to buy his book.
Rumor has it.
yeah. I could picture Gabe Kapler sitting on a beach with his coconut oil and sitting there and reading the book. You know what I mean? So, but we're gonna get into all that. I got my usual cast here. I got my man Sean. Right next to me. What's up, Sean? How you doing?
What's up, man? What's up, fellas? Let's get this game on.
Yeah, right below Sean, I got my man, Mr. 6 for 6, Diego the Hammer Bianchi. What's up, Diego? How you doing, bro?
What's up, dudes? How you doing? What's going on? Ready for this game today?
Good. Heck yeah.
Can't wait, bro. Absolutely pumped. And to the side of Diego, I got my man Mike Fuji, who usually always brings the energy. What's up, Mike? How you doing, brother?
Hanging in there, fellas. Been a while. Game day. Just like to dedicate this show to my mother who just passed 2 days ago, Mary Eileen Furimondo. I actually wasn't going to come on tonight, but I know this is something that she would want me to do because she knows I love, talking shop and, Birds game day, Kansas City. So let's get it going. It's time to think positive. Bless you, Mom. I love you to death. You're in a better place. God bless you. Let's have a great show, fellas.
Let's go, Birds. Let's go.
Yeah, Foods, man. Like we were saying before the show. I mean, words can't even express. You know what I mean? Like, we're really sorry for your loss, and hopefully this could be some good therapy for you.
Also, I just wanted to thank everybody for the calls from family, friends, everybody reaching out on Facebook. You guys, at this difficult time for myself and my family. I greatly, deeply, sincerely appreciate it all. It means the world. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, and I got speaking of that, I got a couple comments here. Maurice Wright says, "May peace be upon her soul." Thank you, Maurice. We got a comment. Eddie Prather says, "Good luck to the Eagles tonight." And then I got another comment from Maurice right here. He says, "Before we get started, what's up, y'all? Tupac is the greatest rapper to ever do it."
I disagree with that.
Amen.
Amen. So, all right. Well, listen. Of course, this is this is more of an Eagles night, obviously. You know what I mean? And we're going to get into a ton of Eagles. But before we do, the Phillies did make some news. Big news with Aaron Nola signing 7 years, $172 million. What's your guys' thoughts? I mean, because I'll tell you what, man. Up until a few days ago, I mean, I was thinking that what's his face? I was thinking Aaron Nola was about as good as going, possibly even going to the Braves. Fuge, what was your initial reaction with Nola coming back? I mean, how do you feel about it?
I thought he was all but gone. I mean, the rumors about the Braves, Yankees, and Cardinals being involved, and Phillies were interested. The rumors about Sonny Gray, Blake Snell still out there. I mean, I guess it wasn't a bit. 7 years, $172 million. Nola's. It's. I would actually rather have seen Snell, but I guess they got him on the cheaper side of things. Maybe they can get Snell. I just think we all know they need a legitimate closer. Enough of this, closer by committee the last couple years.
Yeah, Diego, what was your thoughts? How do you feel about it?
Definitely a long contract, you know. But I think they had to do it, especially when you hear like the Braves are in on him, the Mets could possibly be in on him. You want to keep that kind of pitcher. I mean, not that Aaron Nola is like some stud during the season, but we've seen he sturdies up when the playoffs come. Even the bad game he had this year in the playoffs wasn't that bad. Like the bats still could have bowed them out in that game. So I think I know it's exactly we know exactly what we're going to get with Aaron Nola. You know what I mean? It's our guy. It's homegrown. When he's on, he's on. So 7-year contract, we get a good 4 or 5 years out of him. It was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And to answer Eddie's question here, Aaron Nola's 30 years old. His birthday is June 4th, so he's going to be 31 next June. So, like you said, man, I mean, the one thing about Nola is he pitches a lot of innings, and in today's baseball, that's kind of like a forgotten art. I mean, remember years ago, guys would routinely pitch over 200 innings, and Nola not have had the best year last year, but he's still, even on his worst games, he'll still give you about 5.5 or 6, which, back in the day, that wouldn't be shit. But in modern day baseball, that's actually, a quote unquote quality start a lot of times. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Sean? How did you feel?
I thought he really good St. Louis Cardinals because I think one of our pitching coaches or someone that has ties with him, he was going to go there. Plus, St. Louis needs pitching help, and like Diego said, with that contract, it kind of gives some leeway for the Phillies to kind of play around and get a starter, maybe a closer, like Fuji said. So I'm kind of interested to see where this goes. Hopefully for the better and not for the worse, because the bullpen by committee, like Fuji said, you can't do it. You got to find out who's your middle, who's your closer. Enough said. Enough of this tinkering around stuff. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, here's Maurice Wright says, Nola, he may be our guy no matter how young or old he is. More than likely will be our ace for years to come. So what? Every other team has or needs. And I'll tell you, I mean, I don't know if this, I was reading on I forget if it was Twitter or something, that the Phillies were in or actually still in on the Japanese kid.
Yeah, it was Twitter.
Yeah. And supposedly Bryce Harper is trying to recruit, and so we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know, because I feel like half the league's going to be into that kid. I mean, he's only 25 years old. I mean, you could see the Mets going after him, or the Yankees, or any of these teams. But that's
5 too. So
I would
hopefully, like you said, we can get him, and it'd be the first time we ever had a Japanese pitcher pitch here.
I would say, I don't. The Phillies really haven't ever gone after a big Japanese player. And, I think it's past due that they go after one of these players from the from Japan. Why not?
Hey, you know what? Hey, man, if you can pitch, you know what? I'll go after anybody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, it's definitely a market we got to. And the other thing is, too, Maurice Wright says he'll be a Yankee. And that's a possibility, because I'm sure they're interested.
After you give Nola that money, I don't see him coming now.
They were saying is the possibility of him coming now, like you said, Diego, are kind of dwindling. But him going to Boston, or maybe even the Mets. The Mets, Ken Fry could tell you, pay stupid amount of money. I wouldn't be surprised. But the kid's young.
Yeah.
And he's won 3 of the Japanese Cy Youngs over there. So the kid's got some stuff.
All right.
I know money doesn't really matter in baseball, but I know you put a cap on each guy that you're willing to spend. And I just think there's other teams out there willing to spend more than that cap that we're going to be willing to spend after giving Nola that money.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Here's Eddie Prather says, if the Yanks get Yamamoto, I will hope as a Yankees fan he isn't another fat load or Rabu. I remember that.
Yeah.
Got a comment here. John Michael says, "I'd love to get that kid, but he's got Yankees written all over it. But I'd sure love it." Yeah, I think we're all in agreement. And the other thing is too. I mean, the fact that kid's only 25. I mean, you figure, Andrew Painter, unfortunately has the Tommy John injury, so he's going to miss all next year. And he has like ace quality stuff. And, so it would be nice to get another kid like the Japanese kid that's only 25 years old to go along for the future, because Zach Wheeler is going to be a free agent at the end of this year. Now, I think the Phillies will try to keep him, but I think Wheeler's already like 34 years old. So as good as Wheeler is, you kind of wonder, okay, how many more years how many more years of ace quality ball does Wheeler have? Maybe like 2 at most. You know what I'm saying?
You got to think for the future down the road. You're right. Absolutely.
No, I would say possibly a 2 or 3 year deal with, like, maybe the third year being an option year possibly for Wheeler. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, you look at this too. You look at this team, and with this nucleus, you got Schwarber signed 2 more years. You got Castellanos signed 3 more years, and there's a possibility. Who knows? They may even try to move off of him in a year or 2. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
But you got Turner's in his prime, Harper's in his prime. The window of opportunity for this team is the next 2 to 3 years. After that, JT Realmuto, he's 30. You know what I mean, or 31.
Oh,
so. You figure, you look at some of these deals, like just, the Nola contract being 7 years, the Turner contract being 11, Harper, all this stuff, there's a real good possibility that, like, say 4 or 5 years from now, that we're really, that we're sitting there like, oh man, these contracts aren't looking too good. But I still applaud ownership because, you got to strike while it's hot. And right now, the chance to win is now. You got to take that chance. And I like what they're doing.
Well, I know they.
Guys, Fooch.
I was going to say, I know they re-signed Garrett Stubbs the other day as well. I mean,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, but here's my thing with Real Muto. I mean, the guy's in his early 30s. Guys probably catch the most innings in baseball the last couple of years now. Now you got to. Now you did have a log jam at first base up until Reese Hoskins got hurt, but. When are you going to start thinking about what's Real Muto got? Another year or 2 left on his contract. You got to start thinking about a catcher for the future. I mean you can't be throwing Real Muto out here every day catching 140 games a year with those knees.
Hey, but by the way, does anybody in America have a better job than Garrett Stubbs? I mean, like, for real, like, I know that, like you said, they re-signed him. And he's like, okay, you know what I mean? But like that's a position that I could have seen them possibly on the baseball field, maybe trying to upgrade. Because Fuji, to your point, to give Realmuto a little bit more time off. But it seems like Garrett Stubbs basically gets paid to, like, get everybody banged up and throw parties. I mean, what a job. He's like the Van Wilder mate of the Phillies, dude.
Oh,
he's like a super important guy for the locker room. You know what I mean?
The Kansas City Chiefs backup quarterback might have the better job in the NFL right now, or the best job.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the name? John
Michael brings it up here. He says, down on Stubbs, you can't talk shit as the backup catcher. He's a fun story because of the party guy, but now you got the Diamondbacks all fired up, and dude didn't even play. Yeah, and you know what's funny? You guys remember years ago when Mike Vanderjagt, the Colts kicker, talked shit, and Peyton Manning's like, oh, our freaking kicker has to open up his mouth. That's like Garrett Stubbs. Like, some of his, his teammates wouldn't throw him under the bus, but some of them dudes were like, damn, dude, thanks, bro. Like, can you just, like, chill in the corner and just go get hammered, dude? Like, you're not even playing, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
Crazy. Mike Laura, what's up, boys? Go Birds. Hey, what's up, Mike? How you doing? You could catch Mike out on Sunday mornings on the Edge of Philly Network on PM and the AM, and also on, I believe, Thursday nights on the Locker Room. So make sure you check him out. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty stoked about the Phillies, and What? John, actually, here I got a comment here. He says Michael Papernick Jr. says the Phillies need a banger off the bench, as it's not Sosa, Stubbs, or Cave. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. What do you guys think of trying to add a better bench bat?
Yeah, they have. I mean, they have no guy that scares anyone from the bench. You know what I mean? Like that guy can come and hit a big home run every now and then. Like Souza, Stubbs, and K's pretty weak bench.
Yeah, and they re-signed them too, Cave, which I don't get. I would have went the other route, but
Probably sent him down to AAA like he spent part of last season.
Yeah, exactly, Foods.
Yeah, John Michael says, "Shit, pay me $100 and I'll go get banged up and party for way less." Of course,
be way more fun than Stubbs.
I know, right? Maurice Wright says Phillies need to try grabbing a true slugger like Shohei Ohtani. He's the home run champ. Yeah, I mean, listen, obviously, he's like the best player in baseball. Like Maurice, like we'd always like to get him, but I don't think there's any indication that number one, the Phillies would offer him the money, and B, more importantly, I don't think he has any desire to come here. I think he seems like more of a West Coast kind of guy, you know?
They said he was in Toronto. And he stayed there overnight with the owner, had dinner and stuff. So maybe Canada.
Damn, really?
Gonna pay more taxes.
Wow, holy shit! Canada seems like the total opposite of Japan. Like it's cold as shit up in Canada. You know what I mean?
Right, it's not cold in Japan.
I don't know. Is it? Well, you know what? Yeah. You know what? That's actually funny. I have no idea what the weather is in Japan. I don't know. Is it? Maybe. I don't know. It's on the fucking water, right? I mean, it's probably not. Right? I mean, who the hell knows?
Pay more taxes in Canada getting paid.
Maurice Wright says he's in Tokyo. Wait a minute. So is he in Toronto or Tokyo?
No.
Well, wherever he is, he's getting. That man gonna get paid wherever he is.
Yeah, he's getting.
He don't gotta make ends meet. The ends be meeting like an MFer for that guy.
Oh yeah,
$50 million.
Yeah, Tony's gonna get paid. And with all the big names we already have on this team, I just don't see a guy like that. If it's a big name, I think it's probably if it's a big name that they went out and got a player that I think it'd be Mike Trout. For the hometown thing, for all that, I think they'd be trying to get Mike Trout.
I don't want Trout. Too many injuries.
I don't want Trout. No, I think that'd be he'd be one guy that'd be like, I would love to go to the Phillies.
40+ million a year and too many injuries.
Yeah, I'm good with Mike Trout. I'm just saying, if a big name comes, I think it'd be him over Shohei. Yeah,
well, listen, I want to get into this. I want to get into some Eagles. Before we do, you guys mentioned injuries, and I'll tell you what, man. Anybody out there, if you get injured, all right, now, let's keep it real. Mike Trout doesn't need any money. Mike Trout could wipe his ass with $100 bills, so he don't need no money. But if you get hurt out there and you need some money, make sure you call my man Jason Fine, a.k.a. Attorney Big Ale. Motor vehicle accidents, slip and fall, workers' compensation, or, like we're saying, personal injury claims. You guys 3 offices throughout Pennsylvania, New Jersey, one in Philadelphia, PA, one in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and one in Pittsburgh, PA. And real quick here, we got the Eagles on Monday night. Now, hey, man, Eagles, Kansas City. Most of America wants to watch this game. How about some of those trashy ass games they've had on this year? Like, what was it? What was the Thursday night game last week, dude? It was like the Bears and the Panthers or some shit, right?
Oh, it was the worst game. That's what it was. It was Bajent versus Bryce Young.
Trash. By the way, when we get into football, obviously I want to talk Eagles and of course NFL. The quarterback play in this league. Well, first off, these night games, if you're trying to stay up to watch this garbage, you might want to have some coffee. And I'll tell you, the best coffee around right here is Monkey Colt Coffee. You could use the promo code OOTBS Sports at monkeycoltcoffee.com. And, if you're a fan of the Panthers or the Bears, although the Bears almost won yesterday, but if you're a fan of one of those trash-ass teams, maybe you want to spike that, John. You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you think? Maybe Monkey Skull Coffee would go good with a shot of something, you know?
Yeah, half a bottle of whiskey. If you're a Bears fan, 2 cups of coffee and a half a bottle of whiskey to, you know?
Yeah, remember Major League when Bob Uecker was in the when he was announcing and they were just getting banged up in the friggin' in the friggin' thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. But anyway, you know what? Hey, look, it's uh-oh. Hang on a second. We have another injury here. John Michael. Speaking of injuries, Lieb said he has faith in Hurts tonight. So get Jason Fine ready. I want him suing Lieb for mushing him if he gets hurt. Oh God.
Dude up in the basement, that mush.
I know. He's scared the shit. He's scared the shit out of me because he already put on Facebook. He's like, Eagles are winning tonight. If you're scared, get a dog. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not really as afraid of the Chiefs as I am him talking shit.
I think everybody's just unfollow him, and then you don't have to see it. Never think about him mushing it.
Yeah, that's true.
They lose, they just lose.
Yeah, hang on. I got one couple more things on the Phillies, and then we'll move on here. Eddie Prather says Trout can't stay healthy.
Couldn't agree more.
I got another comment here. Michael Kaepernick Jr. says I would trade for Juan Soto. Now that
all day.
That sounds right good. There.
Yeah, that's a move.
Yeah, but the only thing, if you put your balls on the table and make a move like that, then I gotta think. I mean, you know, I gotta think you're trading an Andrew Painter if you're getting Soto. I mean, I can't. Yeah. You got to give me like your 4 best prospects. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Possibly Mick Abel too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
they won't do that.
It'd be Mick Abel, Kane Abel, I mean, whatever, dude. They're offering everybody, you know what I'm saying? A freaking
they'd be like, yo, let me get the Abel, the dude from the Bible. Remember the guy from the Bible?
Yeah,
Kane and Abel. Let me get that Abel.
They're like, yo, just get. They're like, yo. They're like, wait, all that for Juan? So they're like, yo, it's Juan Soto, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're gonna have to get that guy from the past.
Well, Diego, remember we talking about Juan Soto at work or something last week, and I forget, it was I think you were like, oh, he didn't have that great a year. Then we looked it up. He had still at like 270 with
he still had these numbers. Yeah. I was like, I don't think he had that great of a year. You're like, I don't know. Let's see. It was like 800 RBIs and 30 home runs, something like that.
Yeah. So
it was good.
But hey, you know what? We could talk base on. We got plenty of time for the hot stove here. Let's get into this football game tonight because I mean, let's keep it real, man. It's Monday Night Football. It's Eagles Kansas City.
Rematch.
What's the temperature, man? What's your guys' gut feeling? Like Fuge, what's your gut feeling tonight, bro? I mean, you know, are you confident? You know what I mean? Like, what's your gut telling you?
It's you know they're in this murder's row of 4 of the next 5 games, and to me, you got to come out and run the ball.
Yeah,
the run set up the pass, and which the Eagles haven't done. I mean, Kansas City's been giving up 175 yards a game, as far as the run. And, the Eagles really have gotten away from the run the last. Know what I say? Activate Rashard Penny, run him, big back. It's supposed to be raining cold, smash mouth football, ground and pound, whatever you want to call it. Just run, as I said, run the ball. Let the defense dominate. Shut that Kansas City game down, Kansas City run game down, and win this game.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I wish I was as confident as Rich Youst here. He says Eagles 38, Chiefs 20. And like you said, Fuge, weather could be a factor. Dave Yarnell says weather's bad in Kansas City. John Michael, he's feeling pretty good. He said Eagles 31, Chiefs 28. Fuck them, go Birds. I'm kind of liking that. Diego, I before I get to mine, because I don't want to bring down the mood. I don't want to bring down the mood in the room because it seems like we got a couple confident people. So I'll get to mine later. Diego, how you feeling, bro?
Man, I don't know. Bad weather. All right. First of all, I mean, I don't feel like Kansas City's that same team we've seen in the Super Bowl. You know, I feel like they could be stopped this year. So if we can keep Mahomes off the field, I feel pretty confident that the Eagles can win today in some bad weather. But it's a 50-50. It's a coin flip. This game's a coin flip. Both teams are very good teams, one of the better teams in the NFL. Both can win the Super Bowl. Both have Super Bowl quarterbacks. You know, they played each other last year. So I don't know, Joe. I think it's more of a low scoring game than a higher scoring game like we're seeing 38-20, 31 to a lower scoring game like 21-17 Eagles.
Okay, you know what? I'm actually kind of seeing that too. I think the under actually could be the play because you look at both of these offenses, and you say to yourself, oh well, both teams are going to be able to move the ball, and especially like I don't know who the hell is going to cover Travis Kelce for us because the middle of our field is just wide open. You know what I mean for our defense, but yeah, I kind of feel where you're coming from. I feel like especially with possibly slippery ball or there could be some turnovers. Maybe drives stolen in the red zone, or maybe they're getting field goals instead of touchdowns. Something like that.
Well, the Eagles do get Reggie Roby back. Kevin Byard has another game under his belt, so you look like you got a little more of a healthier secondary. I believe I'm not sure if Blankenship's in or not, but hopefully the secondary. Hopefully somebody will be able to cover Kelce. Also shut down Isaiah Pacheco and Jared McKinnon, at the run game. Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be won by the Eagles, the front four right up front to shut down that running game.
Yeah.
I mean, whether they get the Mahomes is another story because look at the second half of that Super Bowl, but different year, new year, regular season game, and so like I said, the first of in Murder's Row here.
Yeah, Sean, what's your gut feel, bro?
I got them winning. I'm feeling confident. The weather's right now. I was listening to WIP because one of the guys was out there. It was like 30 degrees, raining, a little windy. Come game time, like 30 degrees, game time. I think, like Fuji said, I think the front four is going to eat. I think Sweat and Reddick are going to have great games. The Slim Reaper is going to have a big game since Goddard's out like he always does when he is out.
Mm-hmm.
And up with Fuji said, I think Byard and Obi are going to play that center field role and kind of blanket and Travis Kelce,
Also, I would get Julio Jones involved in the tight end or the slot. Feed him the ball.
You got that.
If I'm the Eagles, I'm trying to win this game on the offensive trenches. It's not one of these games I'm dropping back and throwing 40 times to try to play them home. I'm trying to run it down their throats, like Sean said. Activate Penny, whatever. Just run it down their throats. Keep time of possession. Keep Mahomes off the field. We all know that's how we beat them, and that's why I feel like it's a lower scoring game because the game plan's got to be to run a slower type offense and long drives and keep the ball away from Mahomes.
And we could play in this weather. It's not like our first rodeo. We're all season. You know what I'm saying? So the weather isn't a factor to me. You just, like you said, Diego, time of possession, limit the penalties, and you just got to make Pat Mahomes feel humble, put his ass in the ground, and give heat from the outside, and you, like Fuji said, get pressure from the middle. Fletcher Cox, Jalen Carter. Hopefully Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis come out and play. But like you said, the secondary is kind of, makes you wonder, are they going to show up? Because it's definitely not like last year's defense.
Yeah. Well, listen, we could get into a lot more like that, but it's an honor to bring on Andy Reid's number one fan. Okay. This guy, I mean, the great Angelo Cataldi is about to hop on with us, and I know he loves Andy Reid. So let me add Angelo here. Hi.
Hello,
Hi,
Joe.
Angelo. How you doing?
Hi, Joe. Hi, guys.
Hey,
I
man.
can't wait. I can't wait to see Andy Reid get beat.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on, Mr. Cataldi. We appreciate it.
Yeah, listen, it's I really appreciate you hopping on with us. I mean, I go back to listening to you when I was a little boy. I mean, I remember Brookie and the Rookie, like way back,
Wow.
and of course, great sports debate, and just what a great career. Thanks for coming on with us, and just had a little question. I know a lot of your callers kind of became well known, like the Shirley and some, the Dirty 30. When you started your career, was that something that you, kind of did maybe by design or kind of just organically happened, I assume?
Yeah, it took a long time to get to the point where I realized who the real show was, and it's the fans. It wasn't the callers. It was the callers. It wasn't the people we put on, the athletes, the coaches, all those people. They were not the show. The people that mattered the most were the fans. What finally occurred to me is that I did it for 33 years, and we only won 2 championships, and not a single sports figure, not one, was there the whole 33 years. No coach, no manager, no player. No one spent the whole time there that I was on the air. And I realized, why am I serving these people? What do I care what Andy Reid thinks of me? I care what the fan thinks of me. That's all that really matters. Because the only constant in sports talk is the audience. So if you're not worrying about them, if you're more worried about kissing some player's ass, right? Well, then you're not going to make it 33 years because the fans are going to see through you.
Right.
So just serve the fans. It took me a while. Brookie led me there. Brookie understood it. But I had to go through some periods where I felt out all the different aspects of the job before I got to the point where I went, Arsenani is my audience. Arsenani is nuts. But he's fun. He's provocative. He's exciting. He's passionate. That's the big word, passionate. And that's what I finally figured out. And that was the key to success.
Angelo, whatever happened to Arson Arnie?
Oh, he's still around. I talk to him all the time. He came over to my house to see one of the first games this season. And he's just as nutty there as he was in all the years he was on the show. Now, I may have said more about him in the book that he wanted me to, though. I'm not positive. Like, he read my book. I have my book here. This is out now, loud. It is available on my website, angelocataldi.com. I'll personalize it. I'll even say, Dallas. I'll even put but and it's gonna be available on Amazon and in all bookstores next week. But I told the story the time that he called us from the Dallas training camp. He was in the front and he pulled his pants down and he took a leak on the Eagles on the Cowboys sign and he held his phone near it so we could hear the peak go down the sign. And I think that might have gone too far. I'm not sure. Arnie is he liked the book, but he said he had a couple of things in there he might want to change. And I'm thinking that might be one.
Jonesy's second book read, Angelo?
No. I talked to him today too. And he's going to be at one of my book signings in December. And I said, Jonesy, I'm getting some really good reviews on my book. I think maybe you would want to read it, at least the part about you in there. And he went, no, I read one book. That's enough. I'm not reading any more books. Even though he's the president of Flyers, he still maintains he has only read one book. And it was not the one he wrote, his own biography. He did not read that.
What did you learn most from Tom Brookshire during your tenure at WIP?
I'm not sure I got your question, Sean. Ask it again.
What did you learn from Tom Brookshire?
Oh, that was the key to my career that he gave me a chance to work full time, that I had a chance to work with him full time, and that in the 2 years that we were together, he showed me more than anything. He showed me that radio was not what some people think it is, which is you show up at 6 o'clock and you start hitting buttons, go, let me put this caller on, I'll put that. No, he would show up. This is a guy who had his number retired, number 40. He was a great, great Eagle. Then he had 25 years at CBS as a star analyst. And then he came over to start WIP, and he would show up at 4 in the morning, 2 hours before we went on. And he'd have this big yellow pad, and he'd be writing all these notes on what it takes to do a show. And I'm looking at that, and I'm going, Tom Brookshire, he's got to get up that early and do all this stuff. And he did, because he had a phenomenal work ethic. He had great respect for everybody in the sports community, more than I did for the coaches and the players. And he understood that the people paying his salary were the fans. And he made me see that. And it still took me a long time to pick it all up. But he was the key to whatever happened to both me and WIP. He made it all work.
Awesome.
Angelo, as far as you still get questions about when you went up to New York for when Donovan McNabb was drafted and the Dirty 30 doing the pick?
Oh, no. It was, I started the book with it because for all the years I was on, that is the number one thing we're known for. We booed Donovan McNabb at the draft in 1999. In fact, there's a story at the very beginning of the book where we get these people, and I did not anticipate that they would all be drunk by the time we got to the draft. And we were all in this bus, right? And this guy, Doughboy, who he told me, I saw him last week, and he said he was 430 pounds when that happened. And he saw a bus coming by next to us of elderly, like senior citizens on some sort of a trip. So he pulled his pants down and he pressed his rear end up against the window to moon the old timers, right? But he showed me an actual picture of the rear end. Like, I needed to see this again. I'm trying to get it out of my head. And when he pressed up against the window, he broke it. It cracked. And all these and the great part about it was we went nuts in the bus because I was going to have to pay for the damage, right? We were renting the bus. The senior citizens didn't give a damn. They didn't even care. They saw some big hairy ass. Forget about that. But I don't, the thing is, I'm supposed to have regrets about it because it kind of ruined the big day for McNabb and all. But what it exposed is that McNabb was so sensitive, he could never get over it. He could never. Anybody out there who right now thinks that McNabb was a better quarterback than Hurts is now, not paying attention, not remembering things right. McNabb was a good quarterback, don't get me wrong, but he did not come up big when we needed him to. And I love Hurts, and I think Hurts is going to get it done for us.
Yeah, I feel like Hurts has a certain it factor that McNabb didn't have. Like, you look at, and it even goes back to Hurts' college days. I mean, look, he had that Alabama, he gets benched. He has to sit for a year. He goes to, does he sit and whine about it? No. He goes to Oklahoma, kills it there. And then look at the circumstances of what he's drafted in this town. I mean, he's drafted behind Carson Wentz. At the time, I don't think anybody really expected that pick, obviously.
I know Wentz didn't.
Right, yeah, exactly. And Hurts comes here, bides his time, and now I mean, my God, he's this top 2 or 3 quarterback in the whole National Football League.
Joe, it's mental toughness. He has more of it than McNabb had. McNabb is puking in big moments. This guy's not going to puke in big moments. This guy, he raises his game. He answers the call in big spots. His father was a coach. I think that's a huge advantage when you grew up in that environment. And his dad was obviously a great teacher of the game and how you deal with adversity. And I think he's going to come through for us. I'm not positive it's going to be tonight because I really don't love our defense this year. But But Hurts is the guy. Hurts eventually, not yet, but eventually he will be the greatest Eagles quarterback of all time.
Definitely agree.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what I'm hoping.
Hope you're right. Yeah, I mean, because you know, I mean, he's certainly on track to do it. I mean, look at what he did in the Super Bowl last year. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you could argue. I know Mahomes won the MVP, but you could argue. I mean, Hurts outplayed him.
Well, look, can I ask you guys something? Because it bothers. I've been off the air now for 9 months or so. Do you hold Jonathan Gannon to blame for what happened in that Super Bowl? Because Kansas City had 4 possessions in the second half. The Eagles had a 10-point lead. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. And they would have had a touchdown, but they slid down at the 1. He's the boss of the defense. Isn't he the guy we should all hate right now?
Yeah,
Why don't we? Why aren't you guys angry? Why? I mean, this guy, he came in and stole our season. He was negotiating a contract to the week of the Super Bowl, and then his defense flopped in the second half, and I don't hear the anger. I don't hear the anger. It upsets me. Because that guy ruined a great season.
I think everyone forgets about him because he's gone.
No, that doesn't matter. He still stole your season. You know why he's gone? Because he was interviewed for a job instead of coaching for the Super Bowl. Get mad, guys. Diego, get mad. That guy's
Great.
You know how hard it
Great
is to
analogy.
get to the Super Bowl? And this guy didn't care enough about Diego to put his mind to it. Maybe blitz once in a while, do something to get Mahomes couldn't even stand up. He was hurt. Hit the guy.
Yeah, John Michael's angry. He says he's angry. So there you go.
He is good. Well, John, thank you. You have to be angry. People don't get mad anymore.
Yes. Yes,
I
he
think I'm better there. That's
he
good.
even put it in caps. There you go. He's
That's
really
good.
mad.
No, really, that's my biggest regret, guys. I left the air before I could make him public enemy number 1 because I would have done it. That guy he's dead to me. You understand? Jonathan Gannon is dead to me.
I still think a lot of Eagles Nation's very bitter and always will be. Just, you know, for choking.
People
Jonathan
don't
Gannon.
hate anymore, Mike. People don't hate the way I used to. I miss it. People, you guys are younger. You're more mellow. It's upsetting to me.
I literally, I say it to Joe all the time. Like, I don't hate any of these teams because I grew up with the Eagles being the best team in the NFC East. I have no hate for the Cowboys or the Giants. You guys grew that anger and inside the losing to them and being so mad. I didn't really have to live through that.
Well, what's the point of being a sports fan if you can't hate people?
Angelo, here's a
Oh, I
question.
do hate people. Like I hate the Boston Celtics. You know, I hate the Boston Celtics because the Sixers never did anything for me. But
Angelo,
in football, we always been the better team.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Is the Eagles-Dallas rivalry still big as it used to be? I don't think people hate the Dallas Cowboys like we used to. There used to be that fire, that hatred, that everybody despised. Now you got me fired.
Let me tell you a story, Mike. Let me tell you a story. Right? 1993. Brookie's gone, and now I'm doing pregame shows in the tent before big games at the Vet. And we do a 15-hour pregame show, right? And it's before the Eagles are playing the Cowboys on Monday Night Football when Monday Night Football was our big deal.
Yeah.
And
Big
we
time.
must have had, by 8 o'clock that night, we must have had 1,000 people packed into that tent. And some idiot, he goes by the name Chainsaw. He arrives with his cousin Dominic. And they get into the tent, and he holds up. He has like an inflatable doll with a Troy Aikman jersey on. Right. And the crowd's going nuts. But it's a blow-up doll, right? So he's holding it up, and the people are throwing stuff and yelling and screaming. And then this guy, out of nowhere, cranks a chainsaw. We had, by the way, we had no security 30 some years ago, right? And now he's going to behead the doll with the chainsaw, right?
Amen.
Now, this is not a good plan. Because the second the chainsaw hits the doll's going to blow up. It's a balloon.
Right.
So, sure enough, he comes across and the thing goes flying. The chainsaw goes, it catches his cousin on the wrist. Right? Now there's blood. Blood's flying around. And the guy, we got, oh my God, he's going to lose his hand. He's going to lose his hand. So that somebody grabs a towel and the cousin does a tourniquet on his hand and then triumphantly raises his arm in the tent. And the crowd goes insane. These drunk people went berserk. Let me tell you something. That was the heyday of the Eagles Cowboys. It's not like that today. You couldn't even get a chainsaw down the street today. Those people, the hatred for Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones and Aikman and Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin. I love that stuff, guys. That's what made me love doing that job. And you're right that it isn't.
It's not the same rivalry it used to be, and
they're not as good now.
Yeah.
It will never be the same for the same reason that you guys don't hate Jonathan Gannon the way I do. Because now, you know what's the problem is? You guys, after the show, you're all going to have the phone in front of you. Oh, let me play this game. Let me call this guy. I'm going to text. You're not. Focus on the game. Will you watch the game tonight without the phone? Any of you?
Absolutely.
You will?
Yeah.
Yes.
When they show Andy Reid on the sideline, will you say a swear word?
Sometimes.
Just so you know, I will. Every time I'll say that fat. It's fun. Sports is supposed to be fun. It's where you let your emotions out. It's not life and death. It's fun.
Right.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with good old fashioned sports hatred. Like I said, I root against every team from the NFC East. I mean, I hate Dallas, I hate the Giants, I hate Washington, all of them. You know,
right? I do too, unless Gannon's playing them. Then I root for the NFC East team because I want Gannon to lose every game and get fired.
Yeah, that's tough.
I hate that.
As much I can't root for anybody in the NFC East.
Well, I'll even root for the Cowboys if they're playing Gannon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's a whole other level there.
What you call a blood feud, boys. I had a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, I know. Well, speaking of that, I mean, you know, with your book coming out, I heard Gabe Kapler was going to be the first customer.
Oh, I can tell you that guy. The guy was a liar. Joe, the guy would come on the show and lie.
Yeah.
And I would say to him, Gabe, are you aware the game was televised? We watched the same damn game you did. Who are you lying to? He didn't respect the fans. What it comes down to is respect for the fan. Mm-hmm. You guys are paying money. Look at all the stuff you're wearing that the Eagles got a cut of, right? You bought the apparel. You're watching the games. You're cheering for the team. You're buying tickets. You know, they have a responsibility to give you something back for that. And if they don't, then you have a responsibility to let them know about it. And that's what I do. That's what I did for 33 years. I let them know about it. Boys, I didn't give a damn for 33 years. Right. How the owner felt about me. Lurie hated me. How the GM felt about me. How he hated me for a while. Then we kind of got along near the end because he got good at the job. None of them, the coaches, they all hated me, the players. Who cares? You think they're coming to my house for dinner Sunday?
No.
I mean, if I for 33 years, if all I did was kiss their ass, you think they're my friend? You think they're going to befriend me? No. So the hell with them. Who needs them?
Hey, I'll tell you what. If Andy Reid came over, you might have to go back to work because that's a big food bill.
if Andy Reid came over, I would move.
Angelo, could you touch on the great sports debate a little bit when you're on?
Sure. Sure, that was
Big fan of that show.
You understand that that was TV with people who had no idea how to do TV. They gave us a job. They had regional sports networks back then had all this time to fill. I didn't have anything to fill it with. So Glenn Macnow pitched the idea to a producer, and Steve Rotfeld agreed to produce the show. Prism agreed to carry it. Then they became Comcast Sportsnet and NBC Sports Philadelphia. We did it for 10 years. It was fun, but I cannot say at any point we were any good at it. Jason Stark got good at it because he went to ESPN. Al worked at ESPN, so he wasn't bad at it. And they looked good on TV. I looked like an idiot on TV. I didn't know what I was doing, but they kept paying me, and I kept showing up. And it was, it was 10 years. It was fun. I just wish they didn't. Kurt Schilling used to come on a lot.
Right.
And all the rest of them would kiss his ass. Oh, my God.
I know you couldn't stand Kurt Schilling.
Kurt, could I get you a drink? Kurt, do you like where you're sitting? Maybe the light would be a little better over here. That kind of stuff. And he hated me. And I hated him back because he was a jackass. Now look at him. He's a laughing stock. Right? You got it. Guys, the whole point is, if you're doing that job, just give your opinion and don't worry about it. Just give your opinion. The fans are worthy. If they don't like your opinion, they'll call and they'll call you a name. And then you'll have a little byplay with them. And it's all just supposed to be fun. And that's what I try to do with it. And that's what I do with the book. I just try to have some fun with it.
Angela, who would you say is the most overrated sports player in Philadelphia history? Well, since you covered.
Wow. All
in
the
your
players.
opinion.
Overrated. All right. Everybody thought he was good. Pat Burrell sucked. People loved him. He was a top pick. He didn't work out at all. In football, I was never a huge fan of McNabb's, although he was a good player. I always thought second pick of the draft, you got to be Pro Bowler or all pro a lot. He didn't really do it. In basketball, wow. I loved Iverson, guys. Iverson was my favorite because he was so much fun to watch play, right? But all the stiffs they surrounded him with were not good. And Larry Brown was overrated as a coach because he never won it here. Okay. He never won it here. To me, there's only one way you can get in my good graces for good. Get me a parade. And I had 100 guys. I had 132 seasons in 33 years. 2 parades. Well, that's sad. That's sad. Yeah. So who do I love? Doug Peterson. Love. Nick Foles. Thank you. They wouldn't have won it if Wentz stayed healthy. Thank God that happened because it ended up winning us a championship. Even though, Charlie Manuel, a little love-hate. He won in 08, but he should have won a couple more of them. But I love Utley, and I love Rollins, and I love Howard and all those guys because they gave me a parade. All the other guys, they gave me nothing. I check my hands and see if there's rings. No rings, I rip.
Angelo, could you touch on Rich Kotite a little bit? I know you couldn't stand him.
Who's that?
Rich Kotite.
Oh, well, Kotite was another horse's ass. All right? Kotite, we did a deal. When I was with Brookie, right, they did a deal where Kotite was offensive coordinator, and he would come on when Buddy was a coach. And he would come on every week. And then I would say to Brookie, why are we paying this guy? He never says a damn thing. He was such. Then, the day that they fired Buddy, Norman Bramer fired Buddy, he's scheduled to be on for his last appearance. And I went, finally, I get to ask Kotite a question that matters because he's a candidate for the head coaching job. Just before we go on, Rich wants to talk to you off the air first. So, all right. Rich, what's up? We're putting you up here in a second. Listen, I can't take any questions on the coaching job. What am I going to ask you?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? So I said, no, the only thing I can ask you about is a coaching job. The story's breaking. They said they're going to announce the coach today. Can't talk about it. Screw you. And then he got the job and sucked.
We used to call him. My uncle used to call him Richie Kotex because he had no balls.
Maybe I'll come over for Thanksgiving. Could I meet him, Joe? Sounds like a guy I would enjoy talking to.
Oh yeah, he keeps it real. Yeah, we call it Richie Kotex. Well, remember that game when he couldn't go for two because the play sheet got remember the play sheet got wet or whatever.
Yeah, the ink blurred and he couldn't see the play sheet to know whether to go for a 2-pointer.
Yeah, talk about a guy that couldn't think on his feet. He was like the lawyer from My Cousin Vinny, the guy that was stuttering all the time. That's Rich Kotite up there trying to call an offensive play. You know?
It's great though. So the Jets ended up hiring him right after he got canned here, right? And all these New York guys said, you let a good one go. And we went, You got to be nuts. Rich Kotite will suck in New York too. He'll suck worse in New York. And he took over the Jets, and in 2 years, he destroyed the franchise. And then all the guys from WFAN who were saying we were too hard on him, they were all going, wow, this guy's a complete idiot. Who knew he was this stupid? But it was Rich Kotite. You know the most amazing thing? He then disappeared. No one ever heard from him again. When he got fired from the Jets, he never returned to football in any way. He was still fairly young. He was done.
Yeah, you know what's funny though? I think it was like the late '90s, maybe early 2000s. I remember seeing a commercial, and Rich Kotite was in the commercial. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, "Oh my God, that's Rich Kotite."
I saw it, and I made a mental note never to purchase that product.
It could have been the cure for cancer, and Angelo was damn good.
Even then, I wouldn't trust it. Because what happens if it rains? Maybe the cure's going to get the ink's going to run.
Yeah, really. Yeah. You take it, and next thing you know, you wind up with like a third ball or something. You know, you're like, what the hell's this? What the hell's going on around here?
Right. I wish I could talk like that when I was on the air. We would have had really some fun.
Yeah.
I never said ball the whole time.
Is it possible you could touch on the Flyers and the Lindros, sir, in late 90s, early 2000s?
Well, I could touch on it because I had somebody I work with who was on those teams. That was Keith Jones. And every single time Lindros' name came up in the last 10 years, I would look to Jonesy, who, by the way, is now the president of the Flyers, amazingly. Right. And I would say, Jonesy, you saved Lindros' life. Because remember, there was a time when Lindros he seriously hurt in a game. He was Jonesy's roommate, and he went into the tub in the hotel room, and he was in excruciating pain. And Jonesy demanded that the trainer come in and look at him. Lindros didn't want any medical attention, and he had punctured a lung, and he was in really serious problem, and they fixed it and I would go, Jonesy, do you realize you saved a Hall of Famer, Eric Lindros' life? And he would pause and he would go, hey, everybody makes mistakes. But Jonesy is, guys, all I could tell you is this. I've never been a bigger fan of the Flyers than I am right now because Keith Jones is the president of the team. And they're doing really well so far, given the expectations. And they're doing well because when Keith Jones is on your team, when you are working with him, you are going to work better, you are going to enjoy your job more, and you're going to be more productive. And I'm seeing it already with the Flyers. They made a great move bringing him in. He's so much smarter than he appeared on our show. But he's smart, and he's funny, and he's just a phenomenal guy. And when they win it, that's going to be a major highlight for this city.
Yeah, speaking of funny, how fun was it working with Joe Conklin all those years?
I'm seeing them posing up. They want Carmen on. Carmen was Conklin, you know. But so Carmen would come on, and he would go, hey, I got to tell you, Cataldi, you made some great points this morning. And I go, thank you, Carmen. I really appreciate it. No, really, when it comes to football, nobody knows more than you do. Right? And I go, well, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. But I still can't understand why you're a fat pig. And then he would attack me, right? None of that was scripted because Conklin deep down didn't care for me that much. I was tough on him. I was demanding because he was He's the most talented guy I ever worked with.
Yeah.
And he could do hundreds and hundreds of voices. And he could do them really, really well.
Right on.
Chip,
There were times when guys got older where Conklin's impersonation was better than the actual person because they didn't sound like they did in their prime. It was great to work with him, but like most artists, it was also tough. I had to fight with him a lot to get him to do the stuff that we wanted to do, and he loved to go over the line. He loved stuff with poop and pee and all, he's scatological stuff. If he had his way, he created a character named Detective Brown, right? From the Upper Darby Police Department. And all he would do would make jokes about poop. You know, he'd go, well, we caught him, but boy, that was a tight squeeze there. We had to squeeze that one out. You know, he did all these things, you know. And it was like, Conklin, what's wrong with you? There's something mentally wrong with you that you want to just do poop jokes all day. But his talent, without Joe, we would not have been where we were because a lot of people listened for those great comedic moments he was a part of.
Angelo, about Chip Snapper's Tap Room.
Yep.
That was a classic.
Great. And that, again, theater of the mind. It was done with sound effects and Conklin right in the studio with us. And he just did that character brilliantly. And the character did not move on to the next show. Joe did, but, you know, they don't want the new show to sound like our show. So Chip Snapper kind of is in his final resting place now, at least on WIP.
That was classic about old school Kensington.
It was fun, man. It was fun.
Yeah, well, listen. Well, before we get out of here, what's your thoughts on tonight's game?
I wish you wouldn't ask me, Joe. I'm telling you, this team, they're 8-1, and I loved it. I'm a bigger fan now than I was when I was on the air because now I'm just a fan. I'm really emotionally involved in these games more than when I was planning a show off them. And this defensive secondary, this pass defense, it stinks. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Do you know they're rated 28th out of 32 teams? Do you know they're giving up average 257 passing yards a game? Average? And that's not Mahomes. How am I supposed to pick an Eagles team that is facing a healthy Mahomes? And they're not. Sam Howell had almost 400 yards, 397 yards the second time.
Right.
I can't envision that they're going to be able to stop Mahomes. And the only chance they have is if they actually do what Miami did 2 weeks ago and double cover Travis Kelce and have somebody else beat you.
Yeah.
But when's the last time you saw any Eagle defense double cover the best guy? Have you ever seen them do that with Jefferson when they played Jefferson? No. And that's why these great receivers tend to have big games against the Eagles. So just know, every time Travis Kelce catches a ball tonight, I will be swearing. I will be angry. And I don't see the Eagles winning this game. I'm sorry. I wish I did because, man, I love when they win. It's a whole great week when they win. And when they don't, you get pissed the whole week.
Yeah,
so I'm hoping I'll be cheering for them, but I don't have a good feeling.
Yeah, I'm kind of on board. I mean, kind of the same feel. I mean, I don't want to look at this pessimistically, but like you said, the middle of the field we can't stop, and then also, I mean, is it me or do you think Bradbury looks like he's aged about 5? Bradbury's aged in dog years.
I don't understand Bradbury. Bradbury was really good last year. He's been bad this year.
Yeah,
you can't afford that. Slay is solid. He's always going to be at least solid. But if Bradbury's bad on the other side and your safeties are not good and your linebackers are not great at covering the pass, you got one shot. You got to get that defensive line to get to the quarterback. Yeah. And Mahomes has been sacked 12 times this season. Can you imagine that? That's how few times he's been sacked, the least in the league. I'm sorry, you got to find a way to get to him. I'm blitzing tonight. I'm double covering Kelce, and I'm letting the young receivers beat me because I'm not sure they will. I think I got it. That's my best shot. They won't do it. I'm positive they won't do it.
I think Reddick and the Slim Reaper are going to show up to tonight's game, have a big game.
I hope so. I'll say this, man. A.J. Brown, I love that guy. I love Hurts throwing to them. They'll do plenty of that tonight. They'll take advantage. Devontae Smith will do fine. They'll run. Hopefully they'll run a lot because that controls the clock. Swift has been fantastic this year. I'm hoping, man. I'd love a win, man. You know why? I'm going to give you a secret for all the reasons. Because if the Eagles win, they'll show a shot on the sideline of Andy Reid. And I will remember that all week, and it will bring me joy. That's the number one thing.
Nice. Well, listen, I really appreciate you hopping on with us. The stories were great. And everybody out there, check out the book. Get some joy from that book, Loud. And Angelo, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
AngeloCataldi.com. I'll personalize it, and I'll even say the F word. If it's like F Dallas, I'll write it out for you. Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure. Mike, I'm sorry for your loss. You're a terrific guy. You guys are all great. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Angelo.
Appreciate
Go
it.
Birds.
See you guys. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. That was awesome.
That was great.
That was awesome.
I love those old stories because I mean, just like listening to that show. I forgot. I meant to bring something up to him that I forgot. He actually, my aunt Jeannie and my uncle Bill had a shore house in Seattle. He actually lived right across the street. His shore house was right across the street from theirs.
Okay.
They were right on. I mean, they didn't know him or anything, but like that's just ironic. Like I know he lived right across the street from. They were 81st Street. I think he was like right across the street because he always used to talk about Sea Isle on the on his show. And then the hot dog vendor. When I'd stay at my aunt's house, we would walk to the beach, and then a lot of times like we grab hot dogs from the hot dog vendor. And the funny thing is, I can't tell you how many times a freaking seagull came in and took that, John. The seagulls used to come right down and like literally take the hot dog right out of people's hands, bro.
Like swoop.
Well, the Eagles need to pull us. The Eagles need to pull that tonight and just swoop right in and kick Kansas City's ass. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to be humble. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you right now.
What's that?
I think they're going to win, the Eagles. Like I said, the 28-20. They're going to humble Mahomes, And I just got an alert. Rashad Penny's a healthy scratch.
What the hell?
Of course he is.
Yeah.
There must be something with him, though. I mean, does he like not know I mean, Jesus Christ, dude, does he not know the playbook or something? I mean, what the hell? Like, I don't understand it.
I don't know. Maybe what are they doing? Are they going to do a 2 tight end package because Calicaterra is there, and from Jack Stoll is
he hurt?
Nah, he's more of a blocking tight end. Calicaterra is the one that worries me. I was telling my cousins and Joey that concussion issues. He had them with Oklahoma when he was with. That's a big if. But I want to see this guy, Alberto, who we got acquired from Denver, 6'5", 8. He's a big boy.
Oh, yeah.
Let him eat. See what he can bring. And as far as I'm concerned, like all four of us said, let him go. And Swift, eat. Keep running that ball. Run it. Tire that defense.
Definitely. That's the key to the game. Key to the game is ball control. Keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands and find a way to eke this game out. And by the way, we're only about an hour away from kickoff, just about. So what do you say? Oh, you know what? You guys all made your predictions. I'll make my prediction right now.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't pick against the Eagles, man. What the hell? You know what I mean? All right, I'm going really big sweat. Birds eke this joint out. 23-21, a Jake Elliott last-second field goal. A Jake Elliott field goal piece right as time expires, and we're all going crazy.
And you were saying more to it. Do it. Yeah.
Michael Papernick Jr. says Eagles 30, Kansas City 26. Hey, anything that has the Eagles on the top side of the scoreboard, we'll gladly take. So let's go Birds, guys. Well, you know what? I wanted to talk a little Sixers, but we'll do that next week. Sixers shout out to the Sixers. They lost a couple in a row last week, but they had a nice weekend. Nice win in Atlanta. Nice win in Brooklyn. Nice win in Brooklyn yesterday. Bede and Maxey probably arguably possibly the best duo in the NBA right now, or at least top 2 or 3. And then as we were talking with Angelo, shout out to the Flyers. Flyers are playing good hockey. What do they want? About 5 in a row?
Yeah, 5 in a row for the first time in 3 years.
Yeah, so we'll guess what? Hey, man, the Sully Squad might have to start talking some pucks, bro. We might have to
I'll tell you what, when the Flyers are good, the Flyers are fun to watch.
Yeah, they are.
That's hockey's a fun sport when the home team's good. So they're 10-7-1. If they keep playing the way they're playing, end of the year, I think they could take one of them wild cards.
Yeah, and one more thing before we get out of here too. I was saying yesterday, I thought Zach Wilson had pictures on the Jets owner or the Jets coach or something, because he's literally like the most trash quarterback I've ever seen. If I was a Jets defensive player, I'd walk in the office, I'd be like, bro, I'm not even playing defense no more. This dude sucks. Right.
Right.
Bottom line is though, his pictures must have gone out because they're starting Tim Boyle this Friday. So
good.
Yeah, so I don't know. Somebody got to Zach Wilson. One more comment here. Mike Laura said this Flyers team is fun to watch. Totally agree.
Yep.
Maurice Wright says Jake Elliott MVP. Well, hey, if he hits that game-winning John, we'll take that. Maurice Wright also says this is a coaching game tonight, fellas. Believe that.
Andy Reid has never lost off the bye week. 18-0.
All good things must come to an end. Hopefully,
I agree. I think that I like when I hear things like that. Like, all right, it's got to end eventually.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a first for everything. You know what I mean? I don't think Andy Reid's had a salad in a while either. So you know what I mean? You never know. Let's get this W. All right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So all right, fellas. Well, look, go Birds. Mike,
go Birds, baby.
Mike, once again, sorry for your loss, bro. Hopefully this helped you a little bit, get your mind off it, and go Birds.
Go Birds, baby.
And this time, actually, you know what? Let's keep it real. Next week when we're on, we'll not only will we have this game to talk about, but we play Buffalo on Sunday, so we'll have 2 games to recap.
Nice.
All right, better than this win, and tomorrow being my birthday. Let's go Birds, baby!
All right, happy birthday, Sean, early.
Yeah, man. Thanks. That's what's up.
Again, I want to thank everybody for the beautiful comments and the love and support, friends, family. You guys, I appreciate it.
Anytime.
As I said, I know my mom's in a better place, and God bless her. And God bless everybody. And hopefully the Birds will bring us home a win tonight.
Oh, they will.
Yes, sir.
Go Birds. All right. See you, fellas.
Later. Hey, guys. Go Birds.
Later.